Hi, I'm Nick Shell with Family Friendly Daddy Blog. I'm wanting to provide proof for any skeptics out there as far as is spanking necessary to have a good kid, oh, you have to spank your kid, otherwise they're going to end up in prison, that thing. And so parents who do spank their kids say, well, I turned out okay and I was spanked, I didn't end up in prison. Well, 20% of the American population, which I represent, don't spank their children. I believe in disciplining without spanking, and it's more proactive and preventative, and I'll get to that at the end of the video. But I want to share a true story. This happened hours ago. My wife went down to the school, my son's in first grade, for the parent-teacher conference, because it's that time of year. So here it is, I'm looking at it, first quarter 2017 to 2018, and it says he's doing well in all subjects and is a joy to teach. And the teacher went on to tell my wife that our son is a role model for his classmates. Never any problems out of him. And he's got a perfect score on his reading grades and all this stuff. I mean, the main focus is reading right now. Perfect score, no issues. He's well balanced. He plays soccer. He's big into art. He's big into Pokemon. He's into everything a first grade boy would do, but he's also doing well in school. And he has no behavioral issues, but yet he's well balanced. And that's hard for someone to hear who has identity, protective cognition against discipline without spanking, because they believe that this basically couldn't be a true story. Or they would say to me, well, you just have a good kid, wait till the next one. And of course I do have a next one. She's about a year and a half, and I'll get to prove it all again in a couple more years. But I'm convinced that spanking is not necessary to have a disciplined child, to have an intelligent child, and to have a well-balanced child. Now that I've shared that story with you, I just want to close with this. So what do? What happens when my child misbehaves or acts up or whatever? What do? It's all about being proactive. 5, when your child is misbehaving, it's a warning signal to you that you, the parent, the responsible parent, need to take care of an issue that they do not have the intelligence to communicate to you. Here's how it works. Your child is either hungry, tired, lonely, bored, or sick. So take care of it. Why is it that when kids go out in public and they go, all that? Oh, have they been fed? Is it time for a nap? Are your kids getting the naps that they need? We, as parent, I base my life around, when I'm home, base it around making sure my kids are fed and that they get the naps they need. I proactively make sure they get their naps. They never want it, but I give it to them. I make sure they have got an activity to do so they won't be bored. And I'm there with them to make sure they're not lonely. And if they're sick, well, my wife will take care of that and I'll kind of help from there. It's about being proactive to those things. Children are not intelligent enough to tell you, hey, I'm lonely right now. Please pay attention to me. Even though you as the adult know when you're hungry, I'm a kid and I don't. So I just start crying and get whiny. So as a parent, I'm very proactive to take care of those things. And guess what? That takes care of the discipline. It's a preventable issue. Instead of striking a kid because they're tired, hungry, lonely, sick, that doesn't even make sense. That doesn't seem right. At least not to me, the minority, the 20% of Americans who I discipline my child, but I don't spank them. So, if you're a skeptic out there watching this video, what do you say to a guy like me, whose kid is doing very well, is well behaved, intelligent, well balanced, active, all of these things, yet never been spanked? Is he simply the exception to the rule? And will I learn the hard way when my daughter gets his age? And then she is going to be proof that it was just one good kid? Or what if both of my kids, this is how they did, they're doing great? So, oh, it's just a coincidence? How many kids do I need to have before this is all busted? Before I'm finally proved wrong that, I really was supposed to spank my children. That was really the answer all along, and I lucked out having a few good kids, and it took to kid number 4 or 5 to prove me wrong. So, you heard it from me. It is possible to have great kids that are never spanked, as long as you know how to prevent them acting up. They're hungry, tired, sick, lonely, or bored. One of those. Just take care of that. That's all there is to it.